All right, bro. I see that video, that little diss video you put out on me in 78 Sports TV. All right. Now I know this is in regard to your little bitterness and your contempt towards those who dare to criticize your favorite fighter, Adonis Stevenson. Okay. Now in that video, you talking about I need to take a L after the comments section that you and I had this little back and forth exchange about Adonis Stevenson and his fuckery when it comes to making big fights. All right. First of all, you state a lot of lies and misinformation. Okay. Now, where do I begin? When we had this back and forth exchange about Stevenson ducking the Hopkins fight, right? When he was offered 30% split to take the fight, he turned it down because he demanded a 50-50 split, right? And I said that, look, Stevenson's only signature win, I should say, well, only two signature wins. He only had one signature win against when he knocked out Chad Dawson, right? That was one signature win. He got another signature win against Tony Bellew and Tavoris Cloud. So those are decent wins, but I wouldn't call those all-time great wins, okay? But despite those wins, which are all good wins, his resume still falls short. So Stevenson has no room to demand a freaking 50-50 with a guy like Bernard Hopkins, who's rated one of the pound-for-pound best fighters for many years, who's an undisputed middleweight champion, a long-reigning middleweight champion, who's a unified light heavyweight champion, and a three-time light heavyweight champion. Okay? Why does he think he deserves a 50-50 split against a guy like that? As I explained to you, that if Stevenson want to further position himself on the negotiation table leading up to future fights, he should have did what Hopkins did when he had entered the negotiation table against Oscar De La Hoya and Felix Trinidad. So when Hopkins, leading up to the negotiations with the De La Hoya fight, he took a 30% split. He got paid approximately $10 million, and Oscar De La Hoya got 30. Oscar De La Hoya was the WBO champion, and obviously Bernard Hopkins was the unified undisputed middleweight champion. The WBO title was not a legitimate recognized sanctioned title back then. Okay, but despite that, Oscar De La Hoya had a very, very impeccable resume, pound for pound best for many years. Okay, his resume was stacked. Same thing with Felix Trinidad. They both had the negotiation leverage on the table against Hopkins, but Hopkins took the 30% with both of the guys and showed them that and then beat both of them guys to position himself as one of the guys, one of the somewhat cash cows who can dictate terms on the negotiation table. Okay, that's what I said to you. But then, here you go talking about that. Well, then the next thing that came up was about well, actually, before we get into that, you had nothing to say when I schooled you on that. So don't sit there talking about I'm taking L's, because you've been deflecting on many of my questions and refused to answer on why Stevenson has been putting off fights for the last 3 years. Okay? What else did you say? You saying that I'm hating on Adonis Stevenson? Well, I mean, what? I give the man credit when credit is due, and I criticize him when I need to criticize him, just like everybody else, just like you do when you criticize other fighters, okay? You gonna sit there and talk about us hating on Adonis Stevenson? Dude, you hate on Bernard Hopkins. You shitted on his career. I seen that debate you had with Boxing Beats and Rhymes and EJ Boxing Live and Ben Umar. Dog, you shitted on his resume. Okay? If you want to talk about hate, there's hate right there. You didn't want to really give him credit for anything that he's done. What, only a few wins? The man, Bernard Hopkins, was fucking almost 50 years old fighting prime dangerous fighters, for God's sake, okay? When he moved up to fucking light heavyweight, the dude was like pretty much an underdog in most of his fights going up to that weight class. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you something. Bernard Hopkins has a much, much better pedigree and background than freaking Adonis Stevenson. That's a fact. The man's a two-time lineal champion in both weight classes. You tell me where Adonis Stevenson has ever became a unified or undisputed champion or clean out his division. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a rhetorical question. He hasn't. The man's had 3 fucking years, man, and he's been bullshitting. And it's a fact. He's one of the most disappointing light heavyweight champions of all time, and he will never go down as an all-time great based off his current situation. That's a fact. Now, if you don't like it, then tough shit. Deal with it, bruh. Deal with it. And you want to talk about me and 78 are trying to protect Andre Ward. What do you mean we were trying to protect Andre Ward? All of us agree that Andre Ward should be fighting the best, okay? As I recalled, we have went after Andre Ward for his inactivity and all the bullshit he was pulling, man. Taking Dan Goose into court 4 times and losing, man. We all said, fuck it, dude. You might as well just fight through your damn, contract with the Goosens, and then when the time is up, just go ahead and find another promoter. Well, That's just us looking from the outside in. We don't know what the provisions of those terms were, but we all suggested that Andre just fight through it, man, and then then sort this out one way or the other. He didn't really have to take the legal route and lose 4 times. And to me, and all of us believe that he wasted most of his, some of his prime due to that situation. Okay, we all criticize him for that. Okay, we all did. But when he finally got to that situation, finally got out of the contract with the Goosens, moved up the light heavyweight fight, probably the most dangerous fighter in the world, at his best, in his prime, didn't ask for a fucking catchweight, didn't ask for too many demands when he went to that negotiation process and took the fight with the man. Okay? When has Adonis Stevenson ever done that? Oh, okay, you could say, well, he moved up to fight Chad Dawson. Okay, first of all, Chad Dawson is a fucking Andre Ward and Jean Pascal, another guy that you discredit. He's just a leftover. Okay? And speaking of Pascal, he's a guy who took Chad Dawson's defeated him. You want to talk about Adonis Stevenson's a lineal heavyweight champion. He was pound for pound best. One of the pound for pound best. You guys need to show him some respect. Well, guess what? Jean Pascal was one of the pound for pound best fighters when he beat Chad Dawson. Okay? Yeah, took his O. So Stevenson should be very fortunate that Ward and Pascal had damaged Dawson. Because if Dawson was in his prime, I don't think Stevenson would have won that fight. Let's be realistic. He probably would not have won it. Okay? So don't sit here and spread all these lies and bullshit about me, bro. You the one who got schooled in the comment section. In fact, you can look at the comments. Everybody take a look at the videos. All right? Because the only time this dude ever comments on my videos is about whenever I go after Adonis Stevenson. Nothing else. And what else did you say? Talking about Stevenson, took Darnell Boone to school and all that shit. First of all, Stevenson got knocked the fuck out by Darnell Boone. That's the only loss on his record. Okay? Guess who didn't lose to Darnell Boone? Sergey Kovalev and Andre Ward. Yes, Darnell Boone put both of them down in the fights. We'll get that's cool. We'll give Darnell Boone credit for that. But at least we can say is this: Andre Ward didn't struggle against Darnell Boone. He just got caught with a good shot against him. But other than that, guess who struggled or got knocked out against Boone? Stevenson or Kovalev. They both struggled against this guy. All right? And then you want to talk about Pascal didn't deserve a fucking 50-50 when he asked for that split against Adonis Stevenson, and Adonis Stevenson didn't want to give it to him. Well, let me tell you something. Jean Pascal was not only a lineal champion and was also one of the pound-for-pound fighters at the time when he beat Chad Dawson. The guy headlined 5 different pay-per-views. The man also has a bigger following and is a bigger draw than fucking Adonis Stevenson. That's a fact. And you wanted to dismiss Pascal by going after him, talking about, well, he's been fighting on Stevenson's undercard for the last few fights, whatnot, the last couple fights. So what? So what? That don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing. There's many fighters who are draws and they fight on other fighters' undercards. Look at Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins, well, actually that was called the double main event, but let's be real. When Oscar De La Hoya fought on the same event, he was fighting on the undercard of Oscar De La Hoya's fight against, what's his name, Felix Sturm, back in 2004. And Hopkins was the lineal middleweight champion. So don't use that as an excuse to dismiss Pascal, bro. There's many times when guys who's headline pay-per-views in the past, when they're asking for a 50-50 split based off their resume and what they're able to do, you want to shit on them talking about, well, he's headline on his pay-per-view. He's on the undercard for his pay-per-view. Why should Stevenson give him 50-50? Man, fuck out of here with that shit, bro. Okay? And by the way, I am the man because you can't beat me in a debate. Because let me tell you why. Because you've eluded every single one of my questions, particularly about the Steve Espinoza situation, about that quote talking about Espinoza had offered Hopkins an offer that he couldn't refuse that was greater than 70-30 split that Hopkins wanted to fight Stevenson. I asked you to cite a source. Cite the actual source to where Espinoza said this. You didn't do it. You didn't do it at all. And that's why your ass fell flat and you decided to change the conversation to another topic. All right, what else did you say? You said that I compared Jean Pascal to Oscar De La Hoya. Another fucking lie. I never did that. What I said was that when it came to Adonis Stevenson, or actually, no. Let me take that back. What I said is just because you're the lineal champion doesn't mean you always have to dictate terms, as I alluded to the Hopkins and the Trinidad and De La Hoya situation. Okay, Hopkins he was a quote-unquote B-side on the negotiations against those two guys. He had to give in to their demands. He had to take the lower split against them. So the same thing, even though Pascal is not the champion, okay, but the fact is the man is a bigger draw than Stevenson. He headlined 5 different pay-per-views, and the fact is he has a bit of a better resume than fucking Stevenson. That's a fact. Okay? So don't fucking, sit there and talk about I compared Pascal to Oscar De La Hoya. That's a fucking lie. And by the way, you didn't even give fucking Hopkins credit for beating De La Hoya. Yeah, how about that, excuse my language. Let me calm down. How about that, homeboy? Huh? I mean, what else did you say? Then you want to talk about Andre Ward, discredit him about, going back to his past fights. You said that he headbutt Miguel Kessler and Edwin Rodriguez. First things first, if I looked at those fights, okay, first of all, Ward can be rugged. He can get a little crazy in the inside, okay? First things first, what Ward does is that he puts his head in fighters' chests, okay? So that way they can't jostle for position when they fight in the inside. That is perfectly legal. You can do that, okay? So I don't understand why everybody's accusing Andre Ward for deliberate headbutting guys in fights. I don't see that at all. Are you talking about, I'm sorry, not Miguel Kessler. You're talking about Sakio Bika. Okay. Edwin Rodriguez. Okay, whatever. You talk, dude, you all over the place with this, okay? Because you talking about a lot of stuff that makes no sense. You're not even staying on topic on this, man. And a lot of people accuse me for that. But the thing is, when I stay on topic, I bring in points and make the topics relevant. That's what people don't understand, okay? Oh, man. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Now, before I close out this video, I got to say one thing. Adonis Stevenson should be happy that Andre Ward and Jean Pascal have has softened up Chad Dawson for him, because again, like I said, if Chad Dawson wasn't softened up, if he was still in his prime, Adonis Stevenson wouldn't have beaten him. Let's be honest, he would not have. Okay, now you want to talk about Andre Ward's resume? Guess how many pound for pound fighters that Andre Ward has beaten? He's beaten 4 of them. 4. How many has Adonis Stevenson beaten? Only 1, a faded Chad Dawson. That's it. Other than Chad Dawson, Tony Bellew, and Tavoris Cloud, how many prime opponents or elite opponents has Stevenson beat? None of them. Nobody else. Yeah, he was rated pound for pound best fighter of the year during that time when he knocked out Chad Dawson. But what has he done after that? He ain't done shit. Okay? He ain't on the pound for pound list anymore. Guess who's on that list? Andre Ward, Sergey Kovalev. You can shit on Kovalev all you want to, but at least Kovalev is actually beating guys. Well, excuse me. At least Kovalev is being active. He's fighting the best of his division. At least he's doing that. Where's Stevenson in this situation? He's nowhere to be found, and every right to be fucking overlooked right now because the fact that he's not even keen on fighting the top fighters. You want to talk about, well, we should ignore the fact that Stevenson is not calling out Andre Ward, Sergey Kovalev, although he called them out, so we should be focused on that initially. Bullshit, man. Bullshit. If this was Bernard Hopkins doing this shit where he calls out a fighter and then all of a sudden he won't call him out, all of a sudden you would be all over it. Real talk. You'd be all over it, given how much you hate Hopkins. Oh, man. Lol, yeah, last thing, though. You talking about Lidia Alvarez. When I asked you repeatedly, you talking about Alvarez don't deserve a fight with Stevenson. Well, let me ask you this. Lidia Alvarez has been the mandatory for 2 fucking years. Okay? This man had to fight title eliminator after title eliminator after title eliminator. When the WBC finally, excuse me, finally called the fight to be made, Stevenson paid his man step-aside money to fight Sean Monahan. Sean Monahan, of all people, an overmatched guy. For some reason, that fight fell through. I wonder why. Okay? And then Alvarez had to fight another eliminator against Jean Pascal. Yeah, he came through it. All right? So you telling me that Alvarez don't deserve a shot? Maybe weren't you the same guy that said that Sergey Lipinets deserves a shot, immediate shot at Julius Ndongo, although he's been mandatory for less than 6 months? Who did Sergey Lipinets fought to even consider getting a shot at Ndongo? I'm going based off what you said, bro. Based off your criteria. You can't even answer that question. See, this is the thing about you. When I ask you tough, legitimate questions, you deflect. You get on to. You try to bring up another fact that makes no sense. This is what you always do. You keep deflecting, 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 man. Not answering the question straightforward. And you have the nerve to put out this video talking about I gotta take an L. You ain't schooling nothing in the comment section, homeboy. Anybody, take a look at the videos that me and this guy had this exchange, okay? In fact, I'm gonna name drop you, Mr. Low Place, New Place, Scorsese, bruh. Other than that, I'm out, man. Oh, by the way, I am the man, bruh. Plain and simple. I have to say that again so that way to get it across your head. Oh, one more thing before I go, I forgot to mention. You keep on mentioning the fact that Kovalev ducked the purse spit, out of fighting Adonis Stevenson. Yeah, that's true. That's a very fact. I don't deny that. However, it seems like you keep denying the fact that Stevenson was the guy who ducked out of the first fight in the beginning when his contract was up with HBO. Yes, the HBO contract had nothing to do with him agreeing to fight Adonis Stevenson. Now, when I submitted to you the very fact, the very evidence, the source that Stevenson indeed was offered a separate contract to him and his manager to agree to fight Sergey Kovalev, he rejected it. He didn't want it. That's on record, bro, and you still denied that shit. And you have the nerve to call me and 78 fanboys of Andre Ward? Please. Bruh, you the fanboy of Adonis Stevenson. You're an epitome of that. Real talk. So stop being in denial, man. Accept the facts of what it is. Your fighter is not what he is. He's one of the most disappointing champions of all time at this point. And it ain't my fault that his ass is upskill right now. It ain't our fault the fact that this man is now being neglected in the light heavyweight division. Nobody cares about him. He want to talk about all the champions, all the fighters need to come see him. Fuck Adonis Stevenson, man, with his fucking arrogant attitude. Fuck him. I said it. And just like I criticized Gennady Golovkin, just like I criticized Floyd Mayweather, with all constructive ways, Adonis Stevenson is no exception to the rule. So you're going to have to deal with it, bruh. I'm out.